Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Roxall here, and today I have another Minecraft tutorial, and today's tutorial is about how to host and install a Minecraft vanilla server so that you and your friends can play on. So in the description box below, I provided a few links that you'll need to go to in order to get the essential items to get your server up and running. The first one is minecraft.net, so all you have to do is navigate to this page or click the link below to download the server.jar. I've already done that here, so we can just show you how the process works. Okay, so now before we can actually install the necessary files for the server, first we have to actually double click it and drag it in. Now, depending on whether or not you have WinRAR or not, you can skip ahead to the timestamp below. So that means if your icon is like a coffee cup for Java, like I talked about in the last tutorial, then just click there to the timestamp and I'll be already ahead with the step of what you need to do. Otherwise, if you have WinRAR, then I'll show you how to get to the coffee cup state. So on the bottom left, the search panel, you're going to type in control panel, and then you're going to go to programs and then click default programs, and the second link here, associate a file type or protocol with the program, and then you're going to click choose default apps by file type. Once it's loaded, all you have to do is find the .jar file type. Everything's in alphabetical order, so all you have to do is scroll a little bit until you find it. So once you found it, you're going to see here that .jar automatically opens up with WinRAR archive. All you have to do to change that is click on it and then choose Java TM Platform SE Binary. Once that's done, you'll see that the icon has changed and now we're at the coffee cup state. So all you have to do now is drag it in and then double click. So once you double click, you'll notice that you have three files here: logs, EULA, and server. All you have to do is go into the EULA.txt and then change the false to true. If you don't do this, you won't be able to run your server. All you have to do now is click save. So once you set the EULA to true, what we're going to do now is we're going to set a runnable file in order to actually start up the server. You could just use the default .jar file, but you won't be able to allocate a specific amount of RAM to it, as a lot of people want to do and probably don't know how to do. So what you want to do is right click and then go to new and then text document. You can name this whatever you want, but we're gonna have to name it something specific when we're done. So in the description box below, I provided a line of text that you just have to copy and paste. This is the line right here. I'll explain what each means in a second. So you're just going to copy and paste. And mainly, there are a few important things in this line of text that you need to be careful of. So the first number, the 5 gigabytes, that's the maximum amount of RAM you're allocating to your server. Ideally, you don't want to put more than half of your computer's RAM on here. So I have about 16, but I just decided to put 5 because I do have quite a few people playing on the server sometimes. So I just don't want it to lag. And the 2 gigabytes, that's the minimum amount of RAM you want. You can change that to 1 or 2. Now, what I think a lot of people have trouble with and mess up sometimes, and this is a reason why they're not able to run their server, is because this name of their jar file. You have to look very carefully at your jar file, the name, server. That's the same name as it is in this text. If these two are not the same name, you will not be able to run your server. It will crash instantly. And I'll show you a little demonstration right now too. Say I just type rock solid, okay? I'm gonna save as. You're gonna have to name your run file .run.bat. But I'm just showing for purpose reasons that this is how some people can mess up. So right now it's rocksolid.jar. It's not server.jar. It should be server.jar, but I'm just going to show you that it won't work if the names aren't the same. Going to close out, and then this run file you don't need anymore. Delete that. And now it's a Windows batch file and you can run it. So if you double click, it's going to close instantly. You probably saw it for like half a second, so nothing happens. If you right click and go to edit and you change this back to server, Control S, you click run, it'll work. That's the most important thing to take away from the run file. That's your maximum amount of gigabytes, minimum amount of gigabytes. The server.jar name has to be the same as the server file in here. Otherwise, your server will not run. Now, because it's the first time you're running your server, it may take a little bit to generate the world and everything, but that's okay. It usually takes that long. After every subsequent time loading up your world, it'll be a lot faster. Alright, so once your world has finished preparing the spawn area, it'll say done. All you want to do now is load up Minecraft, and just to check quickly that it does work, you can add a server, edit, and then type in localhost, okay? Localhost essentially is just your computer and you'll be able to connect to it. As you can see, it was green there and it was 0 out of 20. Connection was green, that means I can join it. So here I've joined on my computer, my server. This is without having to do port forwarding, which I'll show you in a second. So this is the first step done. And if you want to play with other people on LAN, well then this is good enough for you. And in order to stop your server, you can do /stop. But since I'm not OP'd, first time running up your server, you're gonna have to OP yourself. So just type in your name. You'll see that you've been made a server operator, and you can type in /stop, and you can do a bunch of other commands. /stop essentially just stops the server. So now we reached a point where we're arguably at one of the hardest parts in hosting a Minecraft server. Okay, so I need you guys to pay very close attention. First step you want to do is type in 192.168.0.1 into your web browser, and depending on what router you have, it will look different. If you have the same as mine, just follow the exact steps as I do. Otherwise, try and find a certain tab. When I log into the website, I'll tell you what it is, and you just have to try your best to follow along. Now, for username and password, this is different depending on what router everyone has. It's not going to be the same unless you have the exact same as mine. So I'll leave a link in the description to common usernames and password to certain router types. But in my case, the default username for my router, Hytron, is cusadmin, and the password will be an associated password on the link below. But in my case, I changed it to be my actual Wi-Fi password. So once you hit login, all you want to do is go to basic, and then you want to click port forwarding. Once you reach the port forwarding page, you're going to click add rule, okay? And for my website, at least the Hytron services whatnot, what you want to do is leave services alone, don't touch it. Application name, you can name it Minecraft. I already have one working, so I'm just going to show you how to do it as if you were doing it for the first time. So you're going to name it Minecraft, change the protocol to TCP/UDP, and the public port range is 25565. This is the port that Minecraft runs on, and this is how you'll be able to host servers. Don't worry, you won't get these red error message. It's just because I've already done it. You won't have these. And now to find your local IP address, all you want to do is in the bottom left search bar, type in CMD and click on command prompt. Now you want to type in IP config. Now you're gonna find a bunch of information here. What you want is this one right here. I blurred out everything else because that's my personal information. I don't want that getting leaked on the internet. So you're just gonna pick this. Your IPv4 address, that's just your computer's IP address, so it's 192.168.0.14, and all you have to do is type that in here, and then you would click apply, and that's it. And that's how you put forward. Now in terms of what to give to your friends in order for them to join, so you can use either of these two searches, okay? You can choose this link right here, this IP address you'll give to your friends. I'm not showing mine because again, that's my personal information. I don't want that getting leaked. Or you will give them this. Just type in my IP address. What I found to work was when I typed in my IP address and I copied and pasted this link to add to my server, it works for me, whereas using this website and giving this IP address to my friends, this worked instead. Alright, so after port forwarding, you're going to see here that if you enter in the server, you enter your IP address, that it will be lit up in green to show a connection that you're able to join. If you join on your IP address, which is your home's internet, there may be a bit of lag, but not too much. It's going to be more or less the same connection as your computer. So yeah, I'm just waiting on a friend to join just to show you guys that it does indeed work. Alright, so you can see I have a friend here. He was able to join, and once he joins, you're gonna have to op him using /op and then his name, and then he'll be able to break the blocks around him, because near the spawn area there's a certain chunk which is 16 by 16 area where he won't be able to break stuff. So just make sure you do that, and you guys are able to play on a vanilla server. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, just put them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.